Good morning, all. Making our way here for our sit for meditation this morning. In the 7 weeks that we have been together in this way, the light has changed so much. So, seeing how light filled it is at this time now. Good morning, beautiful beings around the world, truly. Namaste, all. I love seeing your comments because then I feel contacted with each one of you, knowing who's here. And not that I don't feel you otherwise, but it's just so beautiful to see the way in which we've been coming together almost like a retreat over this time. And actually, there's something that wants to say that it's more powerful and profound for us to come into a constancy like this than to retreat for a while and then go back. For many years, I've been sharing retreats, and it's often a question for so many: how do I bring this back into my daily life? And I would often be confused and say, no, you've actually been revealed to what life is now. So let everything else move aside and let this be what permeates into each day. So actually, I feel that we've been afforded during this time really the possibility to move in this every day. And it's a true blessing to share together in this way at this time. So every Monday, it has been the commitment that we will come back to, in the sit, in the meditation, and anchoring or a connection to the breath. And even as I say the word breath, yesterday I was reading beautiful gifts from the Sufi tradition, and I stumbled across a couple new offerings around breath from the great Sufi mystic and poet Rumi. And I was so touched that actually it brought me to tears. And even it's coming up as I'm mentioning it to you. So I would love to read to you these couple offerings from Rumi before we sit together this morning in the gift that is every breath. So let's just listen to these words. There is a way of breathing that's a shame and a suffocation. And there's another way of expiring, a love breath that lets you open to infinity. Again, this offering from Rumi. There is a way of breathing that's a shame and a suffocation. And there's another way of expiring, a love breath that lets you open infinitely. Just even right now, as we settle into that, it's like feeling the way in which, with the exhalation, if there's a really true seatedness and the recognition of every breath as the only breath, as the only moment that exists. Every exhale feels like this entryway, this gateway to the infinite. Another offering from Rumi this morning. At the end of my life, with just one breath left, if you come, I'll sit up and sing. At the end of my life, with just one breath left, if you come, I'll sit up and sing. We just took a moment before this to discuss in Ayurveda the recognition, the medicine of feeling into each moment that actually one of the causes of disease is moving against time, is moving against the recognition of our own imminence, or let's say the imminence of passing. And as I read this, I notice I'm so touched because imagine if each of us savored every moment with this level of potency. At the end of my life, with just one breath left, if you come, I'll sit up and sing. Actually, in many ways, if we come to recognize what Rumi is pointing to, every moment is the end of life and the beginning. Every moment when it's truly savored can be recognized in its ephemeral nature, that life is only here. It arises and then it passes. And when we come to this moment with that level of knowing, with that level of diving into its field of fullness now, and truly all the things that somehow this mind has seduced or it has created its own self-seduction around have absolutely no importance. There's like a complete indifference. So let's take the inspiration of these offerings this morning and just sit with the gift that is every breath. It's like we can come to this with such a cliche, heady, conceived, I would almost call it like a spiritual egoic notion. Yeah, this moment's all that's here. Yeah, this breath, there's something important in this breath. But really come to savor the life that's found only here in each breath. Let this be your inquiry. Feeling the way in which life asks you to be alive through every breath. Now. And feeling both the fragility of that and at the same time its effortlessness. Okay, let's come to sit together. Let the body be as it is. And if we can naturally invite a softening, then do so. But if it manifests in one way or another now, don't attempt to fight with the body. Become more involved with the preciousness of each breath now. Let your love affair be there, holy. And if simply out of old tired patterning, conditioning, there's a movement towards the mind, towards thoughts, recognize that and simply turn back to the preciousness of now. Self settle into the beloved. Find respite and home where you've always been. And let there be no belief in the concept that you can ever be outside of this very breath. Stay here in love with the river of life as each breath. And let that be the carrier to the infinite. Let the eyes come to open and the body move in one way or another. And let there be this unchanged, unaltered commitment to life itself, to staying here. There's nowhere else to go. I really invite you throughout the day, if you notice at times the Sufi master mystic Rumi is offering, that you're in the breath of suffocation or of striving. Really, what that means is that you're in moments of life where you're so caught in past and future, and there isn't an effortlessness in the flow and the savoring of each moment and each breath. Come back, even in the dynamic expression of life. Let this be a lived meditation, a lived inquiry to return again and again to the simple, easeful, residing breath at any given moment, and notice how life arranges itself accordingly. Wishing each of you a beautiful day or evening wherever you are. Namaste, and we'll meet again together for a meditation on Wednesday at the same time, or those of you who are joining, we'll take a few minutes of break before we come back together for our Vichara Yoga. Namaste, everyone.